Hey, what's up, Caitlin here. Just a minute. Let me put my glasses on. New glasses. Sorry, I had to do that. What I want to talk about in this video is how we vet clients. So we have a little bit of a process that involves everything from when the client comes and signs up, goes through their onboarding, fills out their job description, their budget. They have to put down their credit card. And then I'll usually look at their job description and shoot them a question or two, just to make sure. Like, you'd be surprised how many times you just literally get zero response. So I want to see that they're going to respond to an email. And then I want to see that they sort of have a relatively clear idea of what they're looking for. Like, you'll see people that'll be like, need fast checkout, space period. And it's just like it doesn't seem like they communicate. So I want to make sure that they communicate clearly. Also, the way the budgeting works is they have to put their budget in, and I want to make sure that they have a little bit of an idea of the right sort of a budget. Like, I even had somebody that was like way overpaying and wanted to find somebody in Slovakia, and I was like, I think your budget's way too high. Like, if anyone that's outside of the range of what I could, just because I've seen so many jobs get placed now, anybody that's outside of normal ranges on the high or low end, I'm automatically suspicious. Because a lot of times people with super high budgets, like, it doesn't end up happening. So I'll look at that. I'll email. We want them to put down a credit card up front, which some people are like, "What the heck? Why do you need that?" And it just helps us. We're not going to charge anybody up front, but it just helps us to vet. It just helps us to separate the serious ones from the not so serious. And you don't have to be that serious to put down a credit card, anyways. You can put down a prepaid card that we can't even charge. So that can happen sometimes. But it's just one other signal among many that can help. So we'll do that. We want to make sure they have a decent idea of budget. And then other things, like, for example, if they're, let's say, a merchant that wants to hire a developer in-house and they don't have any kind of infrastructure, they don't have a development team in-house, they don't have any kind of a technical team in-house, we'll push back on that a little bit. We'll be like, are you sure you don't want to work with an agency? And they'll be like, no, we work with this one agency and, like, they were the worst. And so then what we'll say, well, I'll just say, who's the agency? Like, I'm a little bit on the nosy side. It's a little bit of a hazard of this particular business, I guess. And so I'll just ask, and if it's a really good agency, I'll be like, okay, dang, like, you might be the problem. But if it's an agency I know maybe pushes out a bunch of junk or whatever, I'll be like, you should just work with a more specialized agency before you try to hire in-house. So we try to point them in the right direction a little bit, and that's kind of the process. Sometimes, also we want people to be responsive. I've had people who I love and adore personally, but that just aren't very responsive. And I feel like responsiveness is very important as a client, as anybody, as a client, as a developer. So if we're exchanging emails back and forth, and that's one of the reasons I always will ask somebody. It slows down the process a little bit, but that's one of the reasons why I always want to ask some kind of a question to confirm things, because I want to see how they reply. You can tell a lot by how somebody. I should do a whole video on this. You can tell a lot by how somebody replies to an email. Like, if they reply within one business day or so, grammar. And I'm not a grammar stickler, but the difference between, like, a relatively well-formed looking sentence between something with just insane looking grammar, and just how polite they are. I had somebody that was like, he was like, your software is horrible, and I think it's just a scam or something. And I was like, well, I replied, I said, you seem like a friendly fellow. And they were in the UK, which is weird because people are supposed to be so polite in the UK. And anyway, then he was like, oh, well, yeah, no, I just want this and this and that. And I was like, to be honest, man, I think we're not interested because you're not very polite. We kind of have a high bar for that. I mean, it's just something that matters to me. So anyway, those are some of the things that we look for. The goal. We've gotten better over time. We've let a couple crazies slip through the cracks, but the goal is to, by the time somebody's vetted, that they're like a decent client, and so we can pass along the leads. So just want to share that a little bit, and I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, hit me up.